I will fully admit to you, I don't think I've ever watched a Star Wars celebration. I always say I like Star Wars. I like Star Wars a lot. I grew up on it, but I would not call myself a Star Wars fanboy. But there is some interesting things coming out of Celebration. I think it appears, at least in my opinion, that Disney is making an attempt to, and I say this all the time, send out an olive branch, do some things that are unorthodox, but maybe more in line with what fans think should be done. That's my opinion. Um, there's actors that I don't typically associate with something like a Star Wars. That doesn't mean they can't be in a Star Wars movie. This is just it's not people I associate with the movie, or not the style of actors. But then again, the first time Samuel L. Jackson showed up as a Jedi, Mace Windu, I was not expecting that. I didn't know how I was going to take that. And he pulled it off. I believed it, and he was one of the more enjoyable characters. So let's get into this article right here from Cosmic Book News. Star Wars Starfighter plot leaks. Ryan Gosling plays Space Uncle. Interesting. Again, I I can't say I dislike this. I don't know what I think about it. I'm kind of indifferent. The plot of Shawn Levy's Star Wars Starfighter is said to be leaked, which stars Ryan Gosling. And I looked up Shawn Levy's, track record as far as the things that he has been a film director on. He's been on Big Fat Liar, Just Married, Cheaper by the Dozen, The Pink Panther, Night at the Museum series, Date Night, Real Still, The Internship, This Is Where I Leave, Free Guy, Adam Project, Daredevil and Wolverine. His television production credits include Stranger Things, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, All the Light We Can See, The Perfect Couple. Yeah, so he has his action. Let's see. In addition to his work behind the camera, Levy has appeared in various action roles such as Zombie Nightmare, The Kiss, Made in America, cameos in his own films, Big Fat Liar, Cheaper by the Dozen. So he's got quite a track record. Looks like he at least has an idea of how to construct a movie, or the direction it should go. Maybe this will lend to that. I think they're trying to, again, these are my opinions. I think Disney is trying to reach into maybe another bag, maybe a different style to maybe revive or vivify Star Wars. Can they do it? I don't know. Seems like attempts are being made. Not mad at it. So it says the official title and release date were recently revealed at Star Wars Celebration Japan over the weekend. What is the plot leak? According to Daniel RPK, Shawn Levy's Star Wars Starfighter will reportedly follow a 15-year-old boy on a mission with his uncle, Ryan Gosling, as they're being pursued by a duo of villains. This may work, and the reason it may work, I think it seems like, again, my opinion, what they're trying to capture is the feeling of that first two seasons of Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian, I liked it all the way through. Some seasons were better than others. I think it probably would have done even better had it stuck to the roots that it established during season 1 and 2, because it felt, and many people said this, I'm not the originator of this statement, felt like a space western, which many of the original Star Wars movies in certain places and certain elements of the movie felt like a space western. So I understand this. I completely understand this. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So this movie with Ryan Gosling playing the uncle of this boy on some journey, some mission, may work for Star Wars. This may be the exact type of thing that's needed. Okay, it says Levy did direct and produce similar projects such as Stranger Things, The Atom Project, and Real Steel. So the rumor fits. It also sounds a bit like the Skeleton Crew series, which, I think Star Wars Theory even said the Skeleton Crew series was actually enjoyable. And I'll take his word for it. He's the aficionado when it comes to Star Wars. And I think there's many shows like that, which, look, we all realize the situation that Disney is in with all their IPs. But in this time, and I think there's a lot of things getting lost in the shuffle and a lot of things that have become victims to the current circumstance. I think things like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Look, I'm going to tell you, if you have not watched your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, you might think it's problematic for all of the most recent relevant reasons, but I will tell you, I can't speak for anyone else. I can only speak for myself. I 100% enjoyed your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and I did not think I was going to enjoy it. And I enjoyed that cartoon thoroughly. So, like I said, Star Wars Theory said Skeleton Crew actually wasn't bad. I'm trying to remember his exact statements. He didn't say it was great, but I think he said, I'm pretty sure his words were that it was enjoyable and entertaining, which is, look, a good change from what's been coming out from Star Wars as of late, but I don't want to get into all of that. All right. Except instead of using Jude Law, who played a bad guy and a bunch of kids, Ryan Gosling is playing the good guy with his nephew. This might be a good look. What has Lucasfilm said? Lucasfilm is keeping the official plot under wraps, but has revealed the movie is set approximately 5 years after the events of Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, where Gosling will play a brand new character. That's not a bad thing. Star Wars Starfighter will be released in theaters on the May 28th, 2027, which is Memorial Day weekend. The film will go into production starting this fall. And I would imagine, especially with everything that has gone on with Disney as of late, I would imagine that they're probably going to take special care with this film. I think so. I don't think they're. Look, could I be in the mind of Disney? Yeah, there's no way for me to be in the mind of Disney, but it seems like this is something that would actually cause them to take their time, tell the story, kind of ease into it and not rush through something like this. So I am intrigued. I am very intrigued. Like I said, I've never watched anything from Star Wars Celebration. As a matter of fact, I was going to. Let me do this now. I'm going to go to YouTube. Might have to go back and look up and see if we can find something, a trailer or something for this from Star Wars Celebration. Let's see. Star Wars Starfighter. All right, let's see. Star Wars Starfighter official teaser. Okay. I guess they do got a teaser. Now, I don't know how much is in this teaser, but we can watch this together. Let me see if I can make sure I got my audio set up. I always got to make sure of that. Let's see. Turn that one off. That should be good. Probably don't show anything if I had to guess. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. They weren't really going to show anything. But yo, Star Wars is making some headway, doing some things. I think a lot of these companies honestly are doing their best to get back to what fans like. A lot of people think that Hollywood is going to collapse. They take a more negative view. I'm not naive, but I'm also not a pessimist. I am a realistic optimist. I understand that these things could easily collapse at any moment. But I also understand that there are strides, there are things being done to course correct, to right the ship. Now, whether this is going to be done or not, whether the ship is going to be righted, whether we're going to see anything good out of this, I think there are some good signs. I think the fact that they're going after actors that you wouldn't expect in Star Wars kind of says something. Ryan Gosling is a known actor. I would say he's an A-lister. I would say he is a B tier A-lister, if that makes sense. And I think he's very capable to play a role like this and be believable pending, right? Because you never know what's going to happen until an actor gets in a role and then you're like, man, you just really don't fit. But again, like I said, I did not think, I'm going to be honest with you, I did not think Samuel L. Jackson was going to fit in Star Wars. You couldn't have convinced me he would fit. And I was like, how did this dude work so well? I would say Mace Windu is probably one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars. And people love Samuel L. Jackson as that character. So who knows? Ryan Gosling could come and completely steal the show. Kind of like Gina Carano did. Gina Carano as Cara Dune. I did not like, you couldn't have told me that Gina Carano would be in a Star Wars Disney Plus series and she would be one of my favorite characters, but she was easily one of my favorite characters when she showed up on scene, and it was unexpected. So sometimes these unexpected things can have a very good unexpected effect.